Yeah. Oh. Yeah. I don't think y'all ready for this one. Queen Bee knockout collabo. Now you know. Working all day and now it's on. Pull up and don't pay.
Welcome, and welcome to Miss Fitness's podcast. I am your host, Cherie Miss Fitness Jones, and today we're going to talk about why strength training is important. First, let me begin explaining exactly what strength training is. What strength training basically is, it's a physical exercise that specializes in the use of resistance to induce muscular contraction, which helps build up the strength and anaerobic endurance and the size of your skeletal muscles. Now, when strength training is properly done, it can provide significant functional benefits and also just improve your overall health. Strength training also increases bone, muscle, tendon, and ligament strength, also, and toughness as well. And improves your joint function and reduces your chances of injury. It also increases your bone density and also your metabolism as well. Yeah, I explained that a little bit about strength training and increasing your metabolism on last week's episode on age and metabolism. There's so many benefits that come from strength training, and metabolism is very important. And it's one of the reasons that stands out to me as well. And also, if you're an athlete, it increases your sports performance. So if you want to become a better basketball player, football player, soccer player, you want to be better at hockey, volleyball, whatever sport it is, incorporate strength training in your training because it's going to help you with your performance in whatever sport you do. Also, for my athletes, when you're training, know that the speed of your muscle contraction during weight training should coincide with the speed of your sport. So what that basically means is that the level of your sport should be the same level with your muscle contraction. So they must match in order for you to be a better athlete. Another thing that strength training is really good for is also beneficial for rehabilitation. All right. For instance, if someone suffered from a stroke, strength training or weight training can help rebuild their muscle strength. For example, not to put anyone out there, but there's a woman that comes to my gym who suffered a stroke over 10 years ago. And she came in and she was like, she wanted to lose weight. She was concerned about losing weight. She was like, but, I'm paralyzed on one side. I can't do nothing on one side. I need to be able to do something that's going to help me, lose weight. So I let her know that she can develop that other side. She can develop strength in that other side. What she has to do is take her good side and take her arm and start moving it. I said, once you take that arm and assist the other one to start moving, you're going to become stronger every time you do it. So I seen her maybe about 2 months ago, and she told me she had went and got this little band, and she attached it to, whatever resistance equipment she could, and start moving her arm. And she said for the first time in 10 years, the other day she told me that she was able to push a shopping cart with both of her hands. And it really almost made me cry because she said she hasn't done that in 10 years. So she was really, really excited. And I said, I told her, I cannot wait to see where you'll be next year. I can't wait to see your progress. And I'm so proud of her. So that's another reason that strength training is so important, because if she didn't start, adding a little weight on that, the weak side and having her arm assist, she would have still been weak on that side, and she's going to become stronger and stronger, every time she strength trains. So that's a perfect example as to why strength training is so important. And of course, another reason that strength training is beneficial is that it increases your physical attractiveness. Now, we all know that seeing someone with a tight body is very appealing. You know, not too tight. You know, especially for some women. I mean, that's just my opinion. Look however you want to look, but you know, being put together tight, everything looks firm, is attractive. You know, we all cannot deny that a nice toned arms, flat stomach, strong and toned legs, and a nice round bottom looks amazing. It does. And I'll be honest, when I first lost weight, I did mostly cardio. Now, don't get me wrong, I look better than I did when I had the extra unnecessary fat attached to me. But I lacked strength and tightness. I was a little loose, which was due to lack of strength training. But now that I know better, you know, due to incorporating strength training and weight training in my routine, not only am I stronger now, but I'm more confident in my look. And I'm proud to say for the first time, like, I could see, you know, that little horseshoe of my tricep on my arm. And I never saw that before. But being as though that I incorporated more strength training and weight training in my routine, I see a little more tightness and firmness. And it feels good and it looks good. A lot of women get intimidated by strength training. They're like, oh, I don't want to look like a man. I don't want to look big and bulky. Let me explain how it is extremely hard to look big and bulky unless you have a whole lot of testosterone going on in your body. If anybody knows bodybuilders, they have to put in work to get big and bulky and muscular like that. They are eating tons and tons and tons of calories and lifting extremely heavy and working extremely hard. They will tell you it's a full-time job to get that type of physique. So please do not be intimidated by weight training. People who neglect it, you can see it in their body. I also see a lot of people who get surgery, you know, what's that, gastric bypass and other things like that, to lose weight. And they'll lose the weight, but due to the lack of strength training, you'll see a lot of saggy skin, which, you know, for some people, there's so much excess skin that they'll end up having to get surgery, and there'll be no strength training that can help with that. So it's best for you to do strength training, even if you do the surgery. Make sure you incorporate strength training as you're losing, or else you'll have that skin that just hangs, and in the long run, you're going to have to get surgery all over again. And another beautiful thing about strength training is that, like, unlike cardio and aerobic training, like during cardio and aerobic training, you are only burning calories when you're in that moment. Like if you're running for a half an hour or you're on the elliptical for a half an hour, when you burn those calories, that's it. Just at that moment, unless you're doing HIIT, unless you're, you know, doing a high intensity workout. But if you're just doing a, you know, standard aerobic exercise, standard cardio, you're only burning calories at that moment. But when you're doing strength training or weight training, once you're finished, you're still burning calories. You'll be burning calories in your sleep. You'll be burning calories when you're sitting down. Another suggestion I have for people, like if you are interested in getting into strength training and weight training, things like that, and don't know proper form, I suggest you stick to resistance machines at a gym. So most resistance equipment at the gyms put you in proper form. So you don't have to worry about your form being off or you injuring yourself. Like at my gym, at Planet Fitness, all of our resistance equipment has diagram on there. There's a start to finish. Now, the start to finish is either a back and forth movement or an up and down movement. The only thing you have to adjust is the seat and the weight. And you look at it, it'll either tell you for like a bicep curl, go up and down. Lat pull down, up and down. It's just angled differently to target different muscle groups. But it puts you in perfect form. You don't have to worry about doing the exercise improper because it's so simple and so easy. And then once you get used to that, you'll get to understand range of motion and, you know, the proper form for a bicep curl, you know, tricep extensions, things like that. And you can work your way up to the dumbbells and Smith machines. There's also, you know, resistance bands that you can use. It's a lot easier on your joints if you don't want to do weight. Some people, bones are fragile and they can't use the resistance equipment. So resistance bands are another good option for you if you want to get into strength training, which I advise that everyone do. I know for women, every year that you don't strength train, you lose like a pound of muscle or something like that. So it's important because you need your muscle. You need your muscles to function for your regular daily activities, and not to mention that when you have more muscle mass, it helps with your metabolism and it helps you burn fat. So that concludes, this episode on why strength training is important. I want to encourage everybody to incorporate that in their exercise. It is extremely important. All right, so you can always find me on Instagram, Miss Fitness 84. That's MS_FITNESS 84. Like I said, if there's a particular subject that you would like for me to talk about, or if you would like even feature on my show, you can email me at MissFitnessJones84@gmail.com. That's MissFitnessJones84@gmail.com. I want to thank you for tuning in and wish everyone a wonderful, happy, healthy, and blessed week. Thank you.